we're making gnocchi today. You're gonna need potatoes. Russet potatoes are the absolute best. Age my potatoes a couple weeks, get some eye growth going, basically reduces the moisture inside the potato. And I poke it all over, like a lot on each one, as you can see, and then bake them 400 degrees, about an hour, when the knife slides easily all the way through. Then I cut the potatoes. You see them steaming hot there, and then I'm going to scoop the insides of the potatoes out, and just while they're still really, really hot, save the potato skins, and you may not have to be super diligent getting the potato out of the skins, because you may just want to roast them later for a little snack. Anyway, do that with all the potatoes, and I used 4 pounds of potatoes here, so it took me a minute. Then I drop them into my food mill, and then proceed to basically rice all of that onto a sheet pan, and they're still hot, so some of the moisture is escaping right here, because that's one of the keys to gnocchi. Dry as possible. Now, took 3 eggs, heat them up, pouring them over the potatoes. Spread it try to get an even distribution, and then I'm going to hit it with about 3/4 of a cup of flour. Just gently spread it all over the top of the potatoes, and I'm not going to knead this dough. I'm going to chop it with some pastry cutters. And that's all I do. Try to work the dough as little as possible. Don't want to develop any structure or gluten to make them kind of tough. And just chop, 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 chop till it's all nicely mixed up. I'm going to transfer it to a floured counter and add a little bit more flour till it gets to the consistency I like. Sticking together, not too heavy, nice and dry, and light. So there we go. Sprinkle a little bit more flour on there. Do a little more chopping. Basically incorporate the flour that's here into the dough. And eventually, you get yourself a nice ball of gnocchi dough, which has actually been worked very little. Then I'm going to take a small piece of the gnocchi, put it on a floured surface, and just roll it out into a long tube. That's basically it. Just be very gentle, trying not to press too hard or misshape the gnocchi, and then just cut it with that same cutter. About 3/4 to an inch. That's about the size I like mine. Once they're cut up, throw them onto a floured pan, and just make sure they don't stick to each other. Make sure they're nicely coated with a little light dusting of flour. Do a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one. Basically, you keep doing this till the potato dough is gone. There we go. I just just move them around on the pan, add a little bit more flour, prevent them from sticking. And there we go. Now I'm going to get another tray, because now I'm going to get out my gnocchi paddle and just basically give them those little grooves that make gnocchi into gnocchi. I'm flouring the board so the gnocchi doesn't stick, and then just roll a bunch of gnocchi on the line grooves of my board. Once all the gnocchi's done, you can either cook it right away or freeze it for later. I recommend freezing them on the trays like this. They don't stick together. Once they're frozen, then you can toss them into a bag with a little bit more flour. Enjoy your gnocchi.